A few members of the Vienna Police Department attended a crisis intervention team summit in Charleston earlier this week. 2 Vienna police officers have taken training courses to learn about what these individuals go through to better help them in an emergency. The police department will be teaming with Westbrook Health Services to help individuals get the help they need. Vienna Police Chief Carl Powell says these training courses are not just for the safety of the officers, but also the safety of the public.
And they really wasn't going to hurt anyone, but officers are trained when someone has a weapon that we are defending ourselves and the safety of the public. But if we start to learn to recognize when someone's in one of these mental crisis situations, with this training, you'd be able to speak to them and most likely get them to set that knife down.
According to former Vienna Police Chief Mike Pfeiffer, the Crisis Intervention Team program is working to bring training to Wood County for all first responders.